Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. Real quick, 3 stories that are in the headlines here in Japan. And the first one is Grayscale. They have added a 9th product. And so it's another single asset product. And if you take a look here, their number 1 product is the Bitcoin Investment Trust. But they also offer a Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, XRP, which they added in March, Zcash, and ZEN. ZEN is the new one. It's a privacy coin. It's ranked 72 on the entire market cap. People talk about a use case for these types of privacy coins, for example, in healthcare storage or maybe voting platforms. So the Sadis group told us that the privacy coins are going to be popular moving forward into the future. So they might be right. I didn't agree with most of their analysis, but in this case with the privacy coins, it could be that. We just have to kind of watch and see. In the XRP Investment Trust, they will provide you, or the qualified investor, you have to make $200,000 or more to qualify in buying this product. But these are important because they buy, they hold, and they safe keep the coins. This is not an instrument that just trades on price. These types of products will add value to the market cap because they are actually purchasing the coins and tokens. So if you are interested, for example, they'll charge you a 2.5% annual fee. But I think the more that we see these sort of offerings, the better it is for the overall market cap, and more money comes to the space so that we can achieve those prices that we are all so hoping for. So yeah, I am going to keep watching for more of these. All right. Crypto Compare. Look at this. This ZB just keeps dominating the XRP volume by currency. And ZB is a native token or coin that's used with the ZB.com website. It was a Chinese site. It is a Chinese site, and it was in China, mainland, but it moved to Hong Kong when there was the big crackdown. So the Japanese yen was always dominating this for so long, but it has just dropped down to 13% in the last 24 hours. Here we have US dollar is sitting at about 11%. The Korean won is at 10%, but the ZB is at 20.16, and it's been in that 20s range for the last couple of weeks. And when I saw this next story, it started to make sense to me. So in the South China Morning Post, cryptocurrency traders in China find ways to get around state regulators despite tighter scrutiny. So industry observers say Chinese traders' access to exchanges and fiat to crypto platforms almost impossible to stamp out. And the industry observers are certain that Chinese investors will always find ways to circumvent increasingly tightening controls over cryptocurrency trading by mainland authorities, making it practically impossible to ever impose a complete shutdown on trading. And in this case, the article goes on to say that they are mostly using VPNs, which are the virtual private networks. So it's very hard to catch. It's kind of a cat and mouse game. And it's just obviously XRP is very, very popular. All right, yet another company claiming they are cryptocurrency experts. So now EF Hutton is going to sell you their research papers. I don't know. I take them all with a grain of salt. Of course, I'm curious. But if you can't wait for it to be free out there by some YouTuber, you can pay them $19 a month and be a market observer. They'll deliver it to you within a 7-day delay. or you can join the most popular group and be an informed investor for $39 a month. And that delivery will take place with a 48-hour delay, or be a pro trader. And for $99 a month, you can get delivered the reports with no delay. I don't know. When I read a little bit further into this, they made a statement to their shareholders that they believe that they can bring 12% or 12 cents to their share with the revenue that they can generate from these reports. So yeah, I don't know. I think people just decide, okay, we're going to be cryptocurrency experts now, and we're going to sell this information. No, thank you. I do want to share with you one of my new resources for news, and this is faws.com, FAWS.com. It's a very good website. It's probably in the top 5, in my opinion, for aggregating cryptocurrency news. They aggregate with 60 very reliable sites. And if you look here, this Quartz here, they were the media outlet that was able to break that story with the top attorney with Ripple, who just left. So when you look through here, it's all great. And these kind of aggregators not only save you time, but it really brings you to the news quickly. And in addition to these 60 websites, they also cover more than 100 coins. And then most importantly, they cover Twitter. And Twitter for me is the most timely and the most accurate when you talk about a comparison between Twitter and Reddit. It's much more, I think, credible. And the people are amazingly fast on Twitter. So if you don't have time to individually go and look at all of these different sources, you can use a FOZ.com, and it'll aggregate the information for you. So you can click on news here, and you can see just at a glance something you might be interested in. And they categorize it by coin. So you can search the headline, or you can just search for your favorite coin here. And just on July 30th, there was this article that Foz.com, the most trusted and favored news aggregator amongst the crypto community. Well, I agree with this article. All right, so let's go into the fluff. We're talking about news, right? And believe it or not, Yahoo is the go-to news site for Japanese. It's been that way for maybe 20 years, and they just haven't lost that position. So when you look at the Yahoo site, you can see at a glance that it is a little bit different in terms of the user interface. So this is a lot of stories actually in the top section here about Hokkaido recovering from the earthquake and slides. Yeah, and I wanted to find an interest story for you that I thought would be fun to share. And this is a story that they had that was very interesting. So in Okinawa, which is the most southern territory of Japan, it's down near Taiwan. You know, if you look at the map, it goes all the way to almost touching Russia, and then coming down to the Kanto region, and then it stretches down. There's a string of islands down in the south part. It's very tropical, very beautiful. They have wonderful beaches, and it's kind of like the Hawaii of Japan, and it's culturally different too as well. So in Okinawa, there's about 300 kids born every year that have mixed backgrounds. And that takes place because of the U.S. base for the most part. The U.S. base down there represents about 75% of the U.S. military that's actually located in Japan. And these kids are, you know, they're a little special. They have 2 feet in 2 different countries. And when they become 4 or 5 years old and they start to go to school in Japan, their whole world becomes Japanese. And what they found is that their skill set in English starts to decline. And then that non-Japanese parent, the communication gap gets wider and wider. So there is a new school that has right now 85 students. There's only been 50 graduates from the school. You can go to the school at age 4, and then it'll take kids till the age of 15. They do teach in English and in Japanese. So these kids are double educated. And it's really not only perfect for them to be able to keep that communication skill with the one parent who doesn't speak Japanese, but it also gives them the choice when they graduate. They can completely be able to choose to stay in Japan, or they are capable with their language skill set to go back to the United States should they want to. So it's really, I think, a wonderful option for these kids. And if you look at some of the pictures, this article has 20 some photographs, and you can see how close it is to the military base, basically right next door. And the kids then can be also with kids who are like them, which I'm sure for many is a nice thing to have for your friends. And it's called the Okinawa Amerasian School. It costs about $300 a month for the parents. Now, that maybe sounds like a lot of money, but if you go to an international school here in Tokyo, oh, it's much, much, much more. They're very expensive, really almost too expensive for the average family. So the $300 a month is quite reasonable. And it's a great story with a lot of positive coverage in helping these kids with their challenge. Yeah, so I think that is what I wanted to share with you today. Here's the last picture. I think it's really good. Yeah, so I just wanted to share with you a little bit of the real culture that is evolving in Okinawa. And then, it says in this article that globalization is strongly demanded in Japan, but at the same time, it's a challenge. So at the very end of this article, they talk about a survey they did. So the question is Japan ready for diversification? And there were 60,728 respondents, and 2.2% said yes, we're ready. 5.3% said to some extent. 19% said not so much. And 70.8% said they are unprepared for the diversification. So I think that is very telling as to how far Japan still needs to come. And 2% said they didn't know. If you know the history of Japan, in the Edo period, which is about 1601 to the mid-1800s, this country was completely closed off. You couldn't travel out, and foreigners couldn't travel in. They did a little bit of trading with Korea, China, and the Netherlands, but that trading took place in a very secluded area down near Nagasaki, and it wasn't like they could mix with the locals. So for many, many, many years, Japan has been very much isolated. So this whole new diversification is quite new, and it's coming along. But I just wanted to share with you this great school that these kids have in order to deal with their challenge. Okay, that's all I have for you today, everybody. All right, take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.